and welcome to class. In today's class, we'll be looking at what we refer to as the candle anatomy. The candle anatomy. What is the candle anatomy? Well, to begin with, we need to understand what we mean by the word anatomy. So, by the word anatomy, we refers to the physical various structure of a thing, the various physical part of a thing. So that is what we refer to as anatomy. Just the same way we have the human anatomy, where we have the brain, we have the head, we have the leg, we have the hands, like that. So also we also have what is called the candle anatomy. And this concept was this concept originated from the traditional candle, where we have a part of the traditional candle, the solid part, which is called the melting wax. So this solid part of the candle is called the melting wax. And in the traditional candle, there is a thread that passes through the solid area of the candle, and it came out of the candle. So that thread where the fire is being put on and the candle begins to burn is what we refer to as the wick of the candle. So no matter the colors of the candle, no matter the color of any candle that melts, it always has a thread, and that thread is called the wick. So also in trading, we have this candle. We have two candles basically. We have the green candle. This is the green candle, and we have the red candle. Now, the green candle is what we call the bullish candle. We call it the bullish candle, the bull candle, the up candle, or the buy candle. So we have the red candle. So this red candle is what we call the bearish candle, the sell candle, the down candle. So we have the up candle, the candle going up, and we have the down candle, the candle coming down. So this is the bullish, this is the bearish candle. So I'm going to take one of it off now so that we can have a better explanation of what I want to teach us today. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, now we have the bullish candle. Now, in the bullish candle, we have various parts of the bullish candle. Now, this shaded area of the bullish candle is what we refer to as the body. This block shaded area is what we refer to as the body of the candle. No matter the color of the candle, the shaded area, the block shaded area of the candle is always referred to as the body of the candle. Now, remember, in a bullish candle, when we say bullish candle, we are referring to candles that goes up. It opens from below and it begins to go up. So the candle opens from below and it begins to go up. Now, in a bearish candle, this, like I told you, this shaded area is what we refer to as the body of the candle. And the beginning of this shaded area, where the shaded area begins to form, is what we call the opening. And where the shaded area ends in forming is what we refer to as the close. So there is a thread that passes through the candle, just like in the case of the traditional candle. But in the case of trading, it is called wick. So this wick, the high of the wick, the top of the wick is what is called high, and then below of the wick is what is called low. So this is for the bullish candle. Remember, for a recap, I told you the bullish candle is always going up, which is also called the buy candle. It's open from below and it begins to form and start going up. So where the candle begins to form body from, where the candle begins to have its body form, the block area form, and it starts going up is what we refer to as the opening of the candle. and where the candle ends in forming that block area is what we refer to as the close of the candle. Mind you, the size doesn't matter. The block area can be something very, very small, and the wick is very long. It doesn't matter. But basically what you need to know is that where the block area begins to form in a bullish candle is what is called the opening, and where it ends forming is what is called the close. And the high of the candle, the high of the wick is called the high of the candle. The top of the wick, is called the high of the candle, and below the wick, the ending of the wick is what is called the low of the candle. So let's move to the bearish candle. Now, in the bearish candle, this box area, this shaded area of the candle is what we refer to as the body of the candle. The whole of this shaded area of the candle, it doesn't matter the size. It is what is referred to as the body of the candle. Now remember, in a bearish candle, remember we call it a sell candle, a bearish candle. In a bearish candle, the candle is coming down. Is coming down. In a bullish candle, is going up. In a bearish candle, it is coming down. So, since it is coming down, the block starts forming from the top. So, where the block begins to form from, while the candle moves down, is what is called the opening of the candle. And where the block area ends while forming is what we refer to as the close of the candle. So, where the block begins to form is called the opening, and where it ends forming is called the close. So the wick that passed through it, just like in the case of the traditional candle where a thread passed through it. So in trading, this straight line that passed through it, like I told you, is what is called the wick. So the top of the wick is called the high, and then below the wick is called the low. So this is basically the anatomy of a candle. So, but one may ask, what is the difference between the bullish candle and the bearish candle? Now, this is the basic difference. In a bullish candle, the difference is found in the body of the candle. The difference is found within the body of the candle, of the both candle. Now, how do I mean? Now, in a bearish candle, let's begin with the bearish candle, which is the sell candle. In a bearish candle, remember bearish is going down. In a bearish candle, where the candle begins to form, the block area while it moves down is called the opening because it goes down. And where it ends forming is called the close. But for the case of a bullish candle, remember, a bullish candle goes up. So bearish comes down, bullish goes up. So, or buy, go up. You can also call it buy. So for the case of a bullish candle, so since it goes up, it begins forming this block area from beneath it, from below. So where it starts forming the block area is called the opening, and where it ends forming the block area is called the close. So the difference between the both of them is that for a bullish candle, the opening is below. For a bearish candle, the opening is above. So this one, the opening starts from the top. This one, the opening starts from below. So the opening is at the top, and then it closes below. So in this case of a bullish candle, the opening is below and it closes at the top. So this is the basic difference between the bullish candle and the bearish candle. So I'll take you into more example where you need to understand. Now remember, in that first scenario, I told you that there's a wick that passed through the candle. Sorry for my drawing skill. There's a stick that passed through the candle, which is called a wick. Now, there are many times that you will not see a stick passing through candle, where you have maybe a strong bearish candle or a strong bullish candle. There won't be a wick that passes through it. So take for instance in this scenario. Now there is no wick passing through the candle, So since there is no wick, because the top of the wick of any candle is called the high, and the below of a wick of any candle is called the low, whether a bullish or a bearish. The top of the wick, the top of it is called the high. The below of the wick, that's the top, I mean the high of the wick, the top of it, the top here is called the high. The below of it is called the wick. That's for any candle, whether a bullish candle or a bearish candle. So in this scenario, we don't have the wick passing through this candle. So since we don't have the wick passing through this candle, that doesn't mean there is no wick. There is wick, but in this scenario, the body overshadows the wick. So the body swallows the wick of the candle. So since the body swallows the wick of the candle, we are going to use this is a bearish candle, meaning it's coming down, so it opens at the top. So where this candle begins its opening is what we are going to call the high of the candle. Remember, this is the opening of the candle, and where this candle finish forming, which is the low of the candle, is what we are going to call which is the close of the candle. It finished forming here, which is the close of the candle, is what we are going to call the low. So the candle high is here and the low is here, because when we talk of high and low, we are referring to the wick. But in this case, there's no wick. So we are going to take the opening of the candle to be the high, and we'll take the close of the candle to be the low. So that is for this scenario. So this, we move to this other candle. In the case of this other candle, there's wick. So since there's wick, this is the opening of the candle, this is the high of the candle, the upper part of the wick, and this is the close of the candle, and this is the low of the candle. So the same thing, this is the top of the high of the candle, this is the low of the candle, the opening, and this is the close. So we keep moving like that, and then let's come into this scenario. Okay, but before then, this other scenario, before that one, this other scenario, you see the body is beginning to shrink. It doesn't matter how the body looks. Always know that in a bearish candle, it opened at the top and it closed below, and the high of the wick, the top of the wick is called the high, and then below is called the low. So that's it. So now for this case where we don't have a body at all, we just have something like that looks like a cross scenario, a stick that just crossed through it. So since we don't have body, in this case there is body, but the body is very small. So in this case, both the opening and the close is together. So the opening and the close of this candle is together, but we still have the high and we have the low. So that is for that. So let's move to the next candle. Now, for this next candle, you discover that we have a wick, but we can only see the wick is only visible at this area. The wick is only visible at this area. We can't see anything at the top here. So, but it doesn't matter. Remember that the candle in a bearish candle, it opens from like this, is coming down. A bearish candle comes down, so it opens at the top and it closes below. So this is the opening of the candle, this is the close of the candle. And since we can't see the wick at the top, we are taking this opening of the candle to be the high of the candle, and this is the low of the candle. So that is for that scenario. So every other one we can see the wick, and those ones are self-explained. So let's look at the case of a bullish candle. So for the case of a bullish candle, just like I've told you why I was explaining the bearish candle, for the case of a bullish candle, now look at this bullish candle. When we say bullish candle, I mean green candle or up candle. And remember, in an up candle, the candle begins from down and start moving upward. So since the candle begins from down, remember in this case we can't see the wick. The wick is here, but the wick is not visible. The body swallows the wick. So in this case, this is the opening of the candle, this is the close of the candle. So since we can't see the wick, we take the opening of the candle to be, which is here, we take the opening of the candle to be the low of the candle, and then the close of the candle is the high of the candle. Is that clear? So you can always play back this video to listen if you miss anything I've just said now. So, but in this second scenario, we can see the wick. The wick is out. We can see the wick. So this is still the high of the candle. This is the low of the candle, and this is the opening of the candle, and here is the close. So here we can see the wick more better. So this is the high, this is the low, this is the opening of the candle, this is the close of the candle. So the same thing. So but when we come to this scenario where we can't see body, just like in this other side where we can't see body, we only saw stick. So I told you what to do there. So in this other scenario where we don't have body, in this bullish scenario, so we only have a cross here. So the opening and the close is at the same area. So the candle opens and closes the same place. That's why you just saw that in like a stick form, just a straight line there, like a stick form, like a cross form, sorry. And then this is the high of the candle, this is the low. So also in this other scenario where you don't have a wick coming out of the candle, but it doesn't mean whether there's a wick or there's no wick. So you just understand that where the candle begins to open from, because in a bearish you are going up, so where the candle start forming and start moving up is where we call the opening, and this is the close. And since we don't have a wick, we have a wick, but at the top we can't see it. So this is the low of the candle. So we cannot take the close of this candle to be the high of the candle. So also in this next candle is just a reversal of just what I've said here. So since we can't see the wick below it, but we can see this wick above. So this is the high of the candle. This is, so we can call the close, the opening of this candle, sorry, we can call the opening of this candle the low of the candle. So this is all you need to know concerning candle anatomy. So I'm going to come up with more video and show you the application. So in case you are lost, you can always go back over and over again to listen and to watch this video, and it's going to help you. So understanding the candle anatomy is going to help you very, very well while trading, because the wick has its own implication, and the full body also have its own implication when it's applicable to trading. So thank you, and I see you in the next class. Till then.